Episode opens 2 layers deep into its movie within a TV show being filmed. Cliché. Forcing me to think about how painful that tattoo on your hand must have been to get. And I don't f***ing appreciate it.
If you hadn't broken into that DHS mainframe.
True. I am hell of a hacker. But I'm no hero.
We get it. It's a bad big budget movie being produced by an evil big budget corporation. And The Boys is a good big budget show being produced by a maybe not evil big budget corporation. There's a nuance here that I don't have the time or motivation to unpack. So in the end, I'm just going to say that this whole thing feels like the pot calling the kettle a wanker. Also, scene where someone says hell of a hacker does not contain an Angelina Jolie.
Look at these strong female lesbians.
Homelander really is just an oxymoron, isn't he?
So what, they're all starving, but one of them's got a f***ing cell phone?
Downplaying the economic impact of technological leapfrogging. Being the tall guy standing in the front of the pit. Don't get me wrong, I'm empathetic to your situation. You want to get a close-up look at Harry Styles just like the rest of us. Unfortunately, there are 40 people behind you that are now your mortal enemies in plotting your demise. So the sin is that slow and calculated vengeance that I hope never catches up with you. Man, we are tripling down here. We've got the forlorn look, the cigarette, and the shot of what I can only assume is shitty bourbon. How else would we ever know that Billy's 2 seconds away from being a blubbering mess because his wife wasn't okay with him killing her child? Vought Fresh Farms? Come on. Vaught's more of an asshole behind the asshole. They'd have a subsidiary for this. Thinking I'd be distracted by these Werther's originals. It worked.
Hi. Sorry, thought I was getting a voicemail.
Admitting to someone you were hoping you could leave them a message instead of actually having to, talk to them.
What are you watching?
A show called Eat My D***.
Thinking that title would make anyone less interested in what you're watching.
You're a sight for sore eyes.
Oh, hey, it's that guy from Heroes whose power I can't remember. And he's been in a bunch of other stuff too, but all I remember is Heroes.
A legacy isn't always something you get to choose.
Clearly you like me. You've been eye-f***ing me like a lovesick stan girl all day.
Lovesick stan girls have been accused of a lot of things, but simply liking something is not one of them.
Banana saltwater taffy.
Banana saltwater taffy.
So this is what it all comes to, eh? Metamucil and wringing our out for a few drops of piss.
Hey, you don't know what that guy did to end up in that hover-round. He might have done a sick jump.
Да ну бред это какой-то. Александр Гамильтон никогда не был пуэрториканцем.
Это твои идеалы. Это метафора для опыта иммигрантов в Америке.
Но он белый, чувак, белый!
Any personal growth that could have occurred from this impassioned debate about the artistic choices made in the production of Hamilton immediately gets its face ripped off.
Oi, Billy, you should have told me you were bringing company. Oi, who's this one remind you of?
Oi, are we really to believe that Billy's drug-dealing Ann is letting strangers into her home just because they said they were friends of his? Oi, old people are just as bad as kids.
What are you doing here?
Well, Huey heard a dog toy on the phone.
But how did Huey know it was a toy specifically for a dog? Babies and toddlers have squeaky toys as well. They're the toys your sisters get for your newborn child because they hate you and never want you to get any sleep again.
Just so you know, that's Tara's girlfriend.
What?
His pig.
Huey's been holding this thing the whole scene, and the only reason Judy didn't mention this earlier is that the writers know you can't have an old woman say,
his pig,
without a bit of foreplay first. Having your mirror pointed up in a way that you can see Black Noir on the roof is convenient and completely useless for driving. Also, episode never confirms whether or not Black Noir actually thinks this is hiding.
Ma'am, do you have any nails, ball bearings, electrical wiring, pressurized aerosol products? I need a can about this big.
Turns out that asking the teacher this on the first day of 2nd grade is a good way to force your parents to move to a different school district.
She's #Brave Maeve.
We're recommending a multi-pronged image makeover.
This is some top-tier satire about corporations shamelessly latching on to anything in the public consciousness and exploiting it just to make a buck.
Grand marshals at the New York and Chicago Pride because you are two proud lesbians.
And Malcolm Barrett makes it just as funny as it is critical, so go ahead and take your sin back.
That looks like menswear.
Pew Research shows that two feminine women in a relationship sends a problematic message.
Yeah, this isn't Penthouse Forum.
It's definitely not, because this is something that even Penthouse Forum would turn their nose up at. Seriously, not a single person just happens to look up and spot Noir.
Is this right? Just like Home Alone, except way less delightful.
Yeah, the less delightful Home Alone already has a title, and that title is Saw. And I don't think you want to play that game, Huey. Unless, of course, you know how to get a bear trap off your head without ripping your jaw off in the process and in less than 60 seconds.
That ninja here for me, isn't he?
The thing I said to my mom when Josh Billings showed up at our house on the Halloween of 1996 somehow makes it into the episode.
It ain't that kind of massage parlor.
The thing I said to Josh Billings in the summer of 2016 when I invited him out for a spa day somehow makes it into the episode.
I know the rage you feel, but this is not the way.
Says the man who assisted in full-on murdering one of the 7.
This is poison for your soul.
No, the best poison for your soul, Frenchie, is every rose has its thorn. I'd also accept Unskinny Bop.
Go be a monster.
Once again, says the guy who assisted in full-on murdering one of the 7.
Remember when you were young and the world was full of possibilities?
Skip purchasing this domain, but then proving your creative bankruptcy by just having it redirect to the Sony Pictures website.
Everyone in that city ate my paella.
My grandmother's paella also brings all the boys to the yard.
The guy with elephantitis.
I've gotten something horribly wrong here.
I think it's time that I stay put for a while.
But why are they letting the public know A-Train is retiring in a fucking movie or whatever this is? A movie they're fucking filming instead of saving the lives of whomever happens to be in danger today. Scene does not contain one Edna mode.
But if you've served with our amazing soldiers like I have, you would know that freedom comes at a price.
You don't speak for us!
Can't believe I'm somewhat taking Homelander's side in anything, but technically he's not speaking for the military. He's sharing his own experience while he's been working alongside the military and seeing them in action. Anyone who's ever watched this TV show, or any TV show, knows this isn't something that's actually happening, so there is no suspense, and I have to ask, why is this lasering? Like, for reals, Black Noir is still not being noticed? Titties do not need a committee, a board, or a deliberative assembly. You leave the titties alone. Putting a full pineapple in this packed-ass fruit bowl.
Can I ask you something?
Asking someone a question about whether or not you can ask them a question.
All right, you f***er. Where are you?
Why is Noir even hiding? If those explosions didn't hurt him, why would he be concerned about Butcher being able to fight him?
So you want to take me on, do you?
This is why we love Billy so much. He's not afraid to stand up to power and face impossible odds. But it's also increasingly more bullshit every time he survives one of these interactions.
I've got Stormfront flying in.
This turn of phrase is incredibly deceiving when the person can actually fly. Apparently, the cinematographer's superpower in this scene was the male super gaze. Guessing a password right based on the convenient clue right next to the computer is convenient. This is why, when setting your passwords, you look at 5 different things in the room and create a word mashup of all of them, substituting numbers for some of the letters. And this is why you forget that password 5 minutes later and have to reset it every time you need to log in.
She didn't just lie to me about Compound V, okay? She lied to me about everything.
Man, Starlight's taking that there is no Santa Claus seriously.
You are Tilda fucking Swinton.
She's obviously giving off more of a Meryl Streep vibe, and you know that, Stormfront.
Lightning really doesn't strike twice.
Roy Sullivan deniers.
I do like you. You got spunk.
Telling a grown adult they have spunk.
I got you something. Tara? F it. That's my boy.
Writers think that Tara would just start humping the first stuffed animal he sees, when we all know a gentleman of his caliber values a proper courtship. How is the group posting up on the side of the road like this not suspicious to that cop over there in the background? Not being sure whether you're f***ing or fighting and just settling on the answer of yes.
It's a laser beam.
Hey, Train, you're out.
Out of what?
We're out of beer.
I really wish you had cleared this with me before you went over there.
This is your fault. You limey f***. You shit the money bed, my friend.
Hello, hello.
Do you want to die tonight, Cece? What are you watching?
A show called Eat My
Oh, I'd watch that.
But how are you gonna get through all of them?
Don't worry. She's got help. You've been eye-f***ing me like a lovesick stand girl all day. Why is that?
Ray, I didn't come here to jump your bones, okay?
What, you think I'm a piece of shit?
Does a bear extravasate in the forest?